Okay. Yes, let me first introduce, of course, we all know Pastor Bernie. Let's introduce all these amazing women here. Let's not miss, of course, right on to my extreme left here at that corner. Imagine, a lot of people didn't know that Debbie is actually my daughter. Like, can't you see the similarities? like, yeah, like some people say, that's your daughter. I don't believe it. Like, what's wrong? Don't you see anything that's yeah, I know. She's just so amazing, so beautiful, and she's got all our best looks, you see. and she's stunning. She's a mother of 4 boys, my grandsons. Age 11, 7, 3, and just a newborn that's here, huh? Amazing. And she worship led yesterday. How fantastic was that as our worship leader for the conference. And of course, she's a pastor, pastoring along with Pastor Clarence, my son-in-law, a great C3 New Destiny church, a thriving, flourishing church. I'm so proud of her and Clarence. And not only is she an incredible worship leader, she has always been an incredible worship leader. The day that she stepped up to be worship leader, but she has been also lately been preaching quite a fair bit, teaching the word. Maybe not so since you had a baby, took a short break. And also amazing pastor, so patient, listen to everybody's complaints and problems. That's part of the pastor's wife job, right? We're always listening. So lately as well, I forgot to mention, is that they started a women's ministry called Awakening, in their church. So give it up for Debbie Ramaya. Oh, sorry, Debbie Shashi. Oh, that was really a slip of my tongue, okay? Don't tell Shashi that. Don't tell Clarence that. Okay, next to her is Yenny, our powerful Yenny from C3KL. She's a full-time mom, working mom, all right, with 2 young children, Russell 10 and Tyler 7. Now, Yenny has been working in a banking and financial industry for like over 20 years. Can you believe that? She doesn't even look 20, but she's worked 20 years in the finance industry. Yeah, everybody's like, are you sure? Wow. Now, not only has she worked in a corporate, like highly stressed sort of a job out there, she is also holding many, many positions in our church at C3KL and Klang. She's our amazing person. She's the director, actually, of our Gifted Sisters. Today's event, the main director behind. And she's also the treasurer of our executive council, which handles the finance, like the board of our church. And she's latest is a hospitality director as well. Connect leader, what else? Go down. She is just super. She can just do anything and everything, whatever. So give it up for Yenny here. Okay, next, Emma. You would be the youngest among us, right? Yeah. Emma is next, is one of those most amazing pastor of C3 Hope City. Pastoring along with her husband, Joel. I couldn't believe how young they were when I was told that they're going to come plant a church in Malaysia, all the way from Sheffield, UK. And God's just so amazing. She's been raised up at a home church, Sheffield, under Pastor Dave and Jenny Gilpin. I think some of you know Jenny Gilpin has preached in our church as well, huh? And wow, what a great step of faith for them to come. They were just got married, Haven't even finished honeymoon yet, and it was sent here to plant the church. Oh my goodness, are you sure? But just because of the step of faith, the obedience to God and to their pastor, they came. And I was talking to her last night. I said, are you planning to go back once? Just to let you know as well, she just had a baby. The baby is right behind there. What's the baby's name again? Forgot. Henry, correct. Henry, 4.5 months baby. And she's like, yesterday's conference, she's the main administration, she does most of the administration for the conference. Now, she's just had a baby and she's like running around administration, doing everything. She's highly administrative, all right? A great leader and communicator. But what I wanted to say is that how she took that step of faith to come. And she has such a love for Malaysia. Like I was talking to her and say, are you going to go back once your kid is grown up and they need to go to school and things like that? No, I'm not going back. I'll be living here. I'll be dying here. No, no, those were not the words, but sounds like that. Like she's saying, no, I'm not going back. This is my life. This is my home here. Like, how many years? Just like 4 years, 3 years? About 3 years, and she's such a heart for Malaysia, and she wants to raise her son here. She wants to have the son study here and even marry here or whatever. Wow, let's give it up for Pastor Emma. Then, right, of course, you all know Pastor Bernie, our keynote speaker today. We all admire her. She has lost the long haul in ministry, and it's a woman that is full of, so vibrant and full of joy. And I just learn so much from her every time, so much new things that when she comes to download, especially leadership stuff and relationship stuff. And it's such an honor to have her again up on the panel. Mother of 3 and grandmother of 6, okay? Oh, yeah, so same as us. We too have children, 3 children and 6 grandchildren. But she's got 3 girls and 3 boys, you see. So I have to break the record. I must get girls. I must get granddaughters somehow. Maybe Lizzie's got to give me 3 more. Okay, Pastor Faith. Pastor Faith, our in-house pastor as well. Formal name. Actually, I should have asked you, okay, how to pronounce it. I know Rutendo, Faith, Sawati, is it?
Yes.
Oh, wow, I did it. Sawati, hey, mother of 2 grown-up children. She's like a grandmother lately, 1 grandson, Michael, 3 months. And she works at the embassy of the Republic of Zimbabwe. All of you know, for the rest who don't know, she drives a DC car, so very safe. We always send her to pick up at the speakers. No roadblocks, no police will stop. She'll just go right through. Okay, and she's a deputy ambassador, and recently she's been ordained and appointed by our church to be our Connect pastor. But she's pastoring all our foreign students here, which has been such a great pastor because we have loads of students from all countries, especially from Africa. And we just love them. I'm so glad you came. You're staff of the embassy as well, right? So glad welcome all those staff from the embassy who are here today, from Zimbabwe. She came to us with much experience, really. She has 20 years already serving back in Zimbabwe and in different countries as where she was posted as in the embassy. So give it up for our Pastor Faith here. Are you ready? Wow, I can't wait. I don't know about you. I'm so excited. And all the answers all these questions have been given by our church women. And there's so many. I've got 10, 20 questions. I said, we can't have 20 questions. Like I said, we'll keep you here until tonight. So we just picked 5 very important questions that will interest all of you. Doesn't matter if you're old or middle-aged or older, whatever. The first question we're going to direct to Pastor Debbie. As a younger woman preparing for marriage, anybody here preparing for marriage? Or, there you go. Or, if you're a married woman, how can I build myself up to be a good wife? Yay, that's an interesting topic. Yep, so Debbie, please take it away.
So I had a long list of don'ts, which I've made mistakes through the years. I thought I wouldn't let you know all my dirty secrets. So I'm just going to go straight to what I've personally learned. One of the things that you can do is to speak to older women. I've had the privilege of my mom's a pastor, and so I have coffee with her every now and then. And there's so much that you can learn from those who've gone before you, like Pastor Bernie was saying. My mom-in-law, I have a great sister-in-law. It's so good to ask questions. Like, how do you do this? How do you juggle the kids? How do you prepare your message? How do you, whatever it is, learn from those older. One thing that I've learned personally is to just be grounded in God's love for you. When we counsel couples, one of the things that pop up always is how the woman is kind of needy of her husband. love. So it's like he didn't buy for me flowers. He doesn't put his arm around me anymore. He doesn't say, I love you. You know, he used to do all that, but he doesn't do that anymore. And then you find the tension there. But it's important to be built up in God's love for you. So the Bible says in Ephesians to be rooted, established in God's love, that you will have power with all the saints to know that the length, the depth, and all that, so that we build up in godliness. And that is to have power in living the right sort of life. And so that you're not always like wanting that affection or from your boss or wanting thanks from your kids. They're so ungrateful, you know. And my husband doesn't say this and that anymore. It's not about all of that. It's about knowing God's love. And from that, you're able to give.
Yeah.
Because if you're empty on the inside, you can't give. There's nothing to give.
Yeah.
And one of the things my mom was asking me, what are the differences? What do men need? What do women need? Another thing that I've learned during counseling is that men want respect. And it's so difficult to give respect when you feel that you're empty on the inside and you're not loved, because women want love. And you can't give respect if you don't have anything on the inside. So it's so important to grow that love in God. And it's not something that just happens like that. It's a progression. It's a daily thing, isn't it? All of us on that journey. A perfect love, when you build yourself in love, it casts out all fear. So insecurity, things like that goes when you're full of the love of God. Another practical thing is I tell young couples, of course, besides reading good material, there's heaps of material out there these days. Those days, women didn't have access to all of this. They just learned from their peers, from their moms, and some things were passed on that may not have been right, but now we have access to so much. Yeah. So go out to a bookstore, you can have e-books online, go and read, go and study. One simple book that we all take for granted is a book of Proverbs.
Yeah.
That's a rich book, and that book really helped me. Before we came back to plant a church, I told God, I can't be a pastor, I don't have wisdom, I'm not smart enough, how am I going to lead others, you know, I'm too young and blah, blah. And God said, go read Proverbs. And so I did a study on Proverbs, and Proverbs helped me actually to be a better wife, to be a better mother. It talks about how to guard your speech. And like what my mom said, women sometimes speak too much. Sometimes before we think the words just come out, you're right? But how to, hold back, when to speak, when to say the right things. Talks about being diligent in work, in working hard. Talks about finance. It talks about all these things. So Book of Proverbs is a great book to study on before you get married. So that's all from me.
Thank you so much. What about all the other women? Is there anything that you'd like to add to, how can women prepare themselves to be a wife or whatever? Yeah. Anything from any women?
I got married just over 4 years ago, and I was single right up till I was almost 30, and it was it felt like a forever season at times. But I loved my 20s, I lived them well and really enjoyed it. But I think it was just in that time, I guess you have moments where you think, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I ready? Why isn't this happening now? And just, I don't know, I guess just you collect all the bad things you feel about yourself. And I really felt like God say, just shut up. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, and my timing is perfect. And so I just grew confident in that and just thought, okay, well, it's not now. For whatever reason, maybe he's not ready. I used to have this little saying, for all I know, he's in jail or he's still in school. And you just don't know where he is. And for me, it turned out he was still in school. And so I had to wait for Joel to finish school. And I met him when he came to university. But it was just, when it happened, it's like, oh, it all makes sense now. And I just think you just need to be confident in God and not in your own plan and master ideas, but just be confident in God. And I just thought, right, well, God, while I am single, what is it that I can hone in myself that would make me a better wife for when that time comes, and would make me a better mother for when that time comes, a better friend to my partner when that time comes. And so just listening to God, what is it you want to shave off the edges of my character, of who I am, of how I react and do life and make decisions and stuff like that. And so, just... there's a reason that you're single right now. You might not know what it is, but that doesn't matter. So just get on with it and try and make the most of that season. Do it well, and I think that sets you up for the greatest marriage season anyway.
So true. All the single women and all the young women, be patient and wait and prepare yourself before the right man comes into your life. Okay? Right. Any other thing that you like to add? No? Okay, then let's go to the, yes, go
I'll
ahead,
just say
Rani.
also one of the things that I learned when I was a young wife, you catch up with other girls and stuff like that, and I noticed that they were married girls, and they were talking about their husbands in a way that I just thought, I'm just not going to be a part of this. They were like pulling them down, speaking negatively, talking out all what was annoying about them. And I really pondered this because, you can be drawn into that sort of stuff. Like, this is the thing that we do,
Yeah.
And I never liked it.
Yeah.
And I got the revelation, out of Proverbs 31 that says, she does him good all the days of her life. And I just committed myself, and I thought, well, one of those things is that I will not speak negatively about my husband, but, I'll use my words to build him up and, and not tear him down. It's the wise woman builds her house, the foolish one tears it down. But I think that's really important. We can get caught up in wrong kind of conversations, and it doesn't build your marriage. It doesn't build your relationship. It actually tears you apart. So keep speaking well of each other in your marriage.
Yeah, so true, huh? Women, you're going to get together and have a complaining session about all your husbands. There's a tendency you and women come together and compare how bad you are having, or what a bad and you are receiving. So good. What great advice for all wives, huh? Okay, now next question. Shall we quickly go to the next question, which is for Yenny here. She's a full-time mom, so she definitely will be able to answer this question. I'm a full-time working mom, and I always feel tired, often worried about not spending enough time with my young children. How many of you can identify with that? You're exhausted, you are overwhelmed, overscheduled, especially Malaysian women. Most women work, right? And even you not just work out there, you work at home as well, so it's like double work. Okay, so first of all, how do I find time for my family, for my children, young children especially? And then we come to the next part, how can I build them up? Okay, since our theme is about building. Yenny, go ahead.
Okay, who's a full-time working mom here?
All.
Yeah, everybody. Deep breath, right? Yeah, I think apart from my complete dependence on God and just drawing strength from Him all the time, I mean, that's a given, right? But for me, the most important thing is to take good care of myself. And I learned that absolutely the hard way, because when my kids were a lot younger, when they were babies and toddlers, and I had a new job at that time, so I was just torn in all different areas, and I was working so many hours, crazy hours, and I just forget about taking care of myself, and I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks because my system just completely shut down, right?
Yeah.
And so you can work hard, but it's not going to be long term, and it cannot sustain you. So from then on, it was my turning point, and so I sought myself out. I got into a really strict diet program, exercised, and lost all that excess weight. And from then on, I got a lot more energy. And like today, I just got a new job not too long ago, and it's even more stressful now, right? Because it's many years on, and I've moved up the ranks. So in the corporate world, it's a lot more stressful. And my kids are a lot bigger, so a lot older, so it's different sets of issues and challenges as well. But the difference is I am able to give more of myself to my family because I have more energy. And I told myself, okay, they're not gonna be fitter than I am. Okay, they are not gonna outrun me. They're not gonna outjump me. I'm gonna make sure that I'm able to run after them and play with them and be active. So that to me was my turning point, and it became really important to me. My health, my fitness levels, and everything just took a change. But more importantly, how I make sure that I give my best to my kids is I make sure they see me live my best life. I mean, I give them a life demo, okay, of how I live my life. I mean, because they're watching me all the time, right? They don't pick up what's taught. I don't teach them, oh, you should do this, you should do that. They pick up what's right? So how I make my food choices, how I prioritize exercise, how I do my prayer sessions, how I talk to my husband, how I treat my helper in the house, everything, they're watching me all the time. There was one time in the grocers, and the cashier ticked me off. And I said something that I shouldn't. And so when we got back, my son pulled me out and said, "Mom, why did you say that?" Wow, I was like, my son's really mature for his age, for some of you who know him. So I'm like, "I'm really sorry, Russell, I shouldn't have done that." So he's watching us. I mean, he's watching my husband and I all the time without us knowing. So for me, to be able to give my best to them is to give them a really good life demo, okay? And yeah, and one thing I like that I give to my kids is my end of day catch up session with my children, especially my son. He's 10, but he's like 25. So we have this catch up session and we say, so what's going on in the day and what have we learned? And then we end up with prayer and praying for the people around me, praying for his friends in school. So we just kind of recollect and learn and be a better person the next day. So yeah, all these I treasure. Yeah.
Wow, that's so good, Yenny. So how do you actually schedule around spending time with them besides the daily that you have time with your kids, right? Being such a busy mom, I know you schedule all your holidays, right? That's part of the thing.
Yeah, so before the year starts, we schedule in the holidays first. Because if you don't, then work will just take over the whole year, and then you'll be like, oh, we forgot about holidays. So that's important. Yeah, I try to, like, on a daily basis, I try to fit my me time, like my prayer sessions and my exercise time when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
So I don't feel guilty
Yeah.
for not spending time with them when they're awake.
Yeah, so good. The me time is very
Weekends,
important, So
yeah.
you get replenished and so you can give more energy to your kids. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Anybody else like to add that? Yeah. Anybody is
I
very
think
busy?
one thing would be as well is to get organized. To like if you're going to church the next morning, the Saturday before, get all the clothes ready, pack in the bags. Small things like that makes it less stressful. Like I realized, like I was like shouting at the kids in the morning, "Hurry up, eat your food. We're going to go to school." And then I was thinking, I have such a problem with, bad temper and, that sort of thing. And then it suddenly, I used to pray about it. God, give me better temperament. And then suddenly God just dropped it in my heart. How about you wake up earlier and prepare things earlier so you're not rushing?
Yeah.
And so it's important to be diligent,
Yeah.
small things like that, your timekeeping, laundry, and have a schedule. I know it's boring, but it's good to have a schedule in place.
Yeah.
Keeps
so
your
important.
sanity.
So true, to be organized.
I
Yeah.
think we've all got the same 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And it's really about prioritizing
Yeah.
how you're going to spend those hours, like there's $100. How are you going to spend that $100? What are you going to spend it on? Same with our time. And so I think if you're family, if you're married, if you have kids, if you're a single person and you've got friendships and you've got extended family, your parents to visit or whatever, it's all about prioritizing and putting it in and not just sort of hoping it's going to happen sometime.
Yeah.
Sort of like you're putting it off. So don't put it off anymore. Take those hours because they're a gift from God and go, how am I using my day today? And your kids are a priority. Let me say this to you. They are a priority. And I love what you said because I think the gift that we can give to them is that we are strong and healthy, and you've prioritized health in your life so that they're getting a mum that's got energy and she's thinking clearly and she's focused on them. And so take care of yourself. That's great. So somewhere in those 24 hours, insert something that you're doing for yourself, looking after yourself so you're fresh and you're happy and you've got energy.
Absolutely.
And you can give it to your kids and to your husband and to those around you. So, yeah.
Absolutely, so true.
One of the habits that I developed when I was young as a career woman was to do a to-do list every day. sometimes I would do a to-do list for the week, to-do list for the month.
Yeah.
And on that to-do list, you are then able to judge and gauge what you are capable of. It could be work-related, it could be family, it could be your prayer life, it could be church. So so that you're not overwhelmed with activities that you just accept in your life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you feel fulfilled, or you see the areas where you need to step up.
Yeah.
I've also noticed that my daughter, just like Yenny has said, our children are watching.
Yeah.
My daughter is now a fanatic. She will post everywhere, on the fridge, on the dressing table, on her nightstand, on her desk, to-do list, and she goes and ticks. She ticks. She even does to-do list for me now.
The roles have reversed. Children doing that. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to our third question here, directed to Pastor Emma here. She has done university campus ministry, 2 years in Sheffield, so she deals a lot with students before, and so this is going to be good. I'm a student in college. All the students here, college students, I think we have heaps of young college students here. Yep, this is for you, huh? I'm still finding my place in this world, and trying to stay afloat with my studies, and I want to be a people builder, but I have no clue. Yeah.
Whoa, there's a lot in there. Hi, students. I've got to take my hat off to you because I hated study, and I have been blown away at how studious Asians are since getting here. Like, so much effort and time is put in. In the UK, you get given a reading list. I would guess 1% of English students probably read that reading list. We are lazy students in the UK. So since coming here, I don't know, everyone I meet has got 2 or 3 degrees, their master's, PhD, and then they thought, hey, let's do another one. And they're studying like long into life. So I so admire it, because to keep your mind active like that, to keep yourself open to fresh ideas and new ways of doing stuff, it's really admirable. It's healthy for you too, and really sets you up in life, I think, and creates opportunities. So well done to all of you guys. Keep going. With that question, I guess there's a lot of pressure I've noticed in Asia to not just be a student and survive, but to ace it, to really do well and to get the A grades and I don't know, the stars and the whatever certificates you can get. And there seems to be a huge amount of pressure, and it seems to be attached with proving that you're successful or that you've made it. And if you haven't hit that mark, that maybe you haven't, is the suggestion. And I want to encourage you. I did agree that I've never used since. The only thing it's helped me with is getting a visa to live here. And so I haven't really used my international business studies degree, but that season of studying did set me up for life. And a great positive of the not so studious culture in the UK is that in your 3 or 4 or 5 years at university, just that connection with people from all sorts of walks of life, with all sorts of history and background, with all sorts of ambition and hopes and dreams and personality types and all of that. Actually, that grew me as much as my lectures did, if not more. That opportunity to rub shoulders with people who had experience of something maybe I hadn't been through yet or was about to head into, that I could learn from and glean from and just enjoy friendship with. And so I really want to encourage you, as much as you need to like get the grades perhaps so that you can progress to be that brain surgeon. I mean, I'm all for those guys getting A's. If you're going to do law, you're going to like do medicine, please get an A. But you know, it's just, I think there's a lot to be said for adding to the richness of your character and who you are for that time that you spend rubbing off with other people. And so as much as you need to study, actually you might find would be refreshing for you to take a break, to actually, like you were saying with to-do lists and stuff, like actually diarize in opportunities in your week where you're going to go and do lunch with a few of the students, or you're going to stay back 15 minutes after every class just to say hi and reconnect with people, or perhaps at the weekend you're actually going to have some time off and go socially connect with people and do something that would refresh your body, mind and soul to be able to study better. I think just taking time out just to reassess or get some brain space, get some fresh air in your lungs would actually make you able to retain that information that you're trying to learn and all of that stuff actually better. So it's actually healthy for you. So I do understand there's different personalities. Some people get energized by spending time with people, and some people it's really draining. But whatever personality type you've got, I think it is actually healthy for you to be connected with other people. You know, the Bible teaches us that we're not meant to do life alone, that we're here for fellowship, and togetherness is a really healthy thing. And so I'd really encourage you, as much as there are seasons where you just need to hanker down, revise, write that thing, but there are seasons where the pressure, the deadlines aren't there so much, and you can free yourself up a little bit more and actually prioritize getting around other students. You'd be surprised what they can teach you as well. And actually the Bible says it's better to give than to receive. And the 15 minutes that you as a Christian take out to spend with your unsaved classmates or fellow students, you can be a voice of encouragement. You can be the one that spurs them on to not quit and to not give up, and to encourage them that actually there's purpose to life. It's not all about this exam or whatever. And you won't have that opportunity to be that voice while you just stick your head down in your books. And so I think it's important, as students, to lift your head a little bit and just scan the land. You might find someone that's lonely that could do with a friendly chat or a lunch with someone. And just for your own sanity, I think, just go chat to someone about something irrelevant that's
Not just
on
about
topic.
studies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You can make a big difference in your college years.
Really
The
big.
connections that you have,
Really
the influence
big.
that you have on your friends. Fantastic. Awesome. Anything else that you want to add to that, Annie? About students, how you can build? All right. I think she mostly done it all. Keep your tank full. Yeah, whatever it is, keep your tank full so you have something to give to others and people around. Okay, let's move to the next question now. Question 4 with Pastor Bernie. Oh, this question is for all the older women in the house, and we have some older women here. And here it says, I'm an older woman, and I would love to contribute to being a builder of younger people and children as well. How can I be relevant to a younger generation? All right, I think this is so good for Pastor
Right.
Bernie. She's so relevant.
Stay fresh.
And connect with everybody, all ages.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I love the young girls, and I think it's wonderful. Like in my message, I was saying the ability to see people, to actually see them, you're not walking past them. I think that keeps you relevant. I think if your heart is for others, that keeps you relevant.
Yeah.
You'll never be irrelevant while you have a heart for others. And I guess I'm 57 now. Everyone says, no way, no. But yes, way. And I guess it's also taking up a sense of I've received much. I just want to give to others now. Like it's, somebody saw me, so who can I see and who can I help? I think the thing about the next generation is that they can't necessarily release themselves, if you know what I mean. It's like we have the responsibility to get them and to help them up into positions, into a place, whether it's in the marketplace, whether it's in the community, whether it's in the house of God. Us as older women, we need to lift them up. We need to speak words into their life that encourage them and remind them, you are a reminder to them that they're going to make it through whatever they're facing right now, because you did. So it does put courage inside of others. But I think seeing them, I don't think it's about staying trendy. I think it's about having a heart, and that will always keep you relevant. I think it's always that my life or our life as older women that we stay connected to the vine. It's John 15. It says, I stay connected to him and his life is in me. That keeps me fresh. The promise, is that we will still bear fruit.
Absolutely.
We will still be
Great promise.
youthful in our old age, you know. So, along with that, though, I think there are practical things that we as older women can do, and that is, you know, you've already mentioned it, is look after yourself, you know, to eat well, drink lots of water, you know, exercise, go for a walk, get out into nature, give yourself rest. You know, sleep is important. You know, there was once upon a time they're saying, oh, you know, we can live on less sleep. But actually, you do need to prioritize your sleep, that you're resting well, you know, that you have energy for the next day. They're important factors for our life in terms of staying current and relevant and fresh and alive. Stay in the Word of God. The truth of God is never irrelevant. So if you're carrying truth, if you've got the Word in you, you can speak to a young person, an older person, a 100-year-old person, a 1-year-old child, and you will be relevant to them because the Word of God is alive. It never ages, and if we are carriers of it, the Word flowing out of us to people, and I would say just be, you know, real. I think real is good.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we can, we've got to take the masks off, you know, and it's not so much people looking for us to be trendy or anything like that. They just want us to be real, you know.
Absolutely.
And we've always lived this way, that whatever we are here today at church, you can come over to our house and we'll be the same, you know, and that keeps you relevant, that you're a real person. And so people are looking, does this person really understand what I'm going through? But if you're real about what you're going through, that will connect to their hearts, whether they're 50, whether they're 15, keeps you relevant, keeps you fresh. We had a prophecy over our life many years ago, and it was when the Lord started to release us to go out to travel around the churches, and you know, it was such a privilege to do that. And the prophecy was, I see you going out round the world and arriving in places and people coming up to you and saying, it's like mum and dad are here, you know? And I've treasured that word in my heart, that I would arrive in places, that I would see people, that they would have a feeling around me of a mother's heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of a loving heart, and I think that kind of heart is a relevant heart, and it's a fresh heart. So big hugs to everybody, no matter what age you are today.
Yeah,
Hug.
absolutely. Thank you. That was so good. Relevant. And yeah, for the older women. Yeah, in fact, we have lots of younger people here, like college students. We used to think that like we are so much older than everybody else that we keep attracting all the younger people to our church. Like, but I guess, you know, actually a lot of younger people do look up to older women to be mothers for them because they are so far away from home and they need that security, that the assurance from some older women to affirm them, encourage them. So older women never feel that you're too old to connect. They are, to tell you the truth, a lot of younger people do look up to older women for the affirmation and encouragement. So go for it, huh? Thank you so
true.
much.
It's so true. So don't shrink back from that.
Yeah.
Be mums in the house to others.
Yeah.
It's so good what you're
Mums,
saying.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So older women, be mums in the house, all right? We need all of you to be mums. Thank you. Anything to add, Sister Faith? She's a mum in the house. She's Mum Faith.
Thank you, Pastor. I often remember what my mom said. It could be 15 years ago. She looked at me and said she would be amiss. She would not have missed the target if she were to love me. I'm the only daughter. If she were to love me only and not love other people's daughters. It sort of just caps what Pastor Benny has just said, but you need to be relevant. For every person that you come across, could be a daughter, it could be a sister, it could be an auntie,
absolutely,
they could be younger and older. God has created us and put us in place at this time so that we can encourage one another.
Yeah, absolutely. I love about you, Faith, is that you bring all these young girls to your home to stay with you. Yeah, give them time, encourage them. Open your home just to have them stay over during the holidays, and that's so good, huh? And some of the students look forward to that time with you and time with your family as well. So good, thank you. We have the last question now. That's for you, Pastor Faith.
Mom, just one more thing. Just want to take a time to honor my mom. Like, she's amazing with that. She's like really pours out into us as kids and to so many. And just take time to honor like these beautiful women here. They are moms in our house, in our church. And they're so real. They pour out, they just share and like what they were saying, being real. Just take time to honor them. One of them's in there helping take care of my baby. Thank you for being great moms.
Not the older woman there taking care of the baby, it's the daughter. She's young. Okay, last question here to Pastor Faith. I'm working in the corporate world, and most of my peers are men. I feel like I have to work double hard to improve myself or prove myself and earn respect. How can I be a good leader and make a difference in my workplace? Yeah. Interesting question.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll try and just answer the question which says, how can I be a good leader and make a difference in my workplace? There are two faces to it, leadership and worker. When you lead, it means there's a team. Where there is a team, there is that need to cultivate the team spirit.
Yeah.
And as a leader, you have the role of handing down the culture. The culture can be whatever is the vision you have. The vision that I have as a leader in any team that I work with, at work, in ministry, is standard of excellence. That one, nobody can argue with me. I'll say, I am fussy about this. This is what we're expecting. This is the standard that we are coming up with. At the end of the day, it makes me a person who seems very hardworking, but it rubs on the others. The others may not like it. The men who are watching will think that I am working hard so that I can outwit them or outdo them. But I know very well that God created us in his own image, and he made us men and women all in his image as his workmanship.
That's right.
And for that reason, I do my best because I know that it pleases God to be hardworking. Secondly, I don't do it as a manner of comparing myself with others or competing with others, but I do it because that's the vision I have, standard of excellence. And I don't do it because I've gone to university, I've studied many books, or it's because God is the giver of that gift, wisdom, even the excellence comes from him, even the energy to run. Some people my age could be somewhere else thinking of retiring, but I feel like I've just started.
Oh, come on.
It's like the best days of my life are still ahead of me.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're still young, Sister Faith. Pastor Faith, still young. Yeah.
To
so,
start.
yeah. So it's important to know who you are as a woman, right? You're not in competition. You have uniqueness and, gifts and talents that God's given to you, and you put in your best, and people respect when they see that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. So you need to know who you are. That's the bottom line. You need to know who you are in Christ. Hey, my husband sneaking in. That's a man in here. Pastor Joe Ramaya. Yeah. What are you doing? She's my pickup. She's my driver now. I'm going to chauffeur us to the airport. Yeah, I think we're going to end here. So sorry, we took more time than expected, but it's good, isn't it? So good. We should have more of that. Actually, we could continue. That's like so much that they have spoken and contributed, opened their hearts to us. Thank you so much, every one of you, Debbie, Yenny, Emma, Bernie, and Sister Faith. Okay, let's give them another hand of applause and thank God for every single one of them. Thank you very much. Yes. I'll hand back to our Nisha, our MC here. Thank you so much, women, for making time, especially Pastor Emma and Pastor Debbie with the babies. They came all the way. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, Nisha, take it.
Wasn't that so good? Can we give our pastors a big round of applause? So good that we get to learn from them.